The following program is sponsored by BizG87, an art gallery and space in Larchmont for artists and entrepreneurs.
Welcome into another telecast of LMC Varsity Sports alongside Elijah Ware. I'm Sean McGraw. We're here at Mamaroneck High School for our first boys lacrosse game as this year's season opens up for the Tigers against Pleasantville, the reigning Class D state champions. Mamaroneck is the reigning Class A section champions, and this should be a good game. Pleasantville hasn't played a season, their own game, and they're 0-0, and Mamaroneck is 1-1 with their only loss coming to Yorktown, the perennial all-worlds program. It should be a good game, Elijah.
Yeah, it should be a good game. It's still early in the season for both teams, so ball movement is going to be key in order for both teams to get that chemistry going and get some good angles at the net. And defense is going to be key as well. And both of these teams trying to stop each other from scoring. So we have Jack Freed in at the goal from the hockey team, and for Pleasantville, they're a pretty good defensive team as well, being the defending state champs. So it should be a good one, Charlie.
Yeah, when we get back, we'll get to see one of the top face-off Fogos in Section 1, Shane Smith, here for Mamaroneck on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here alongside Elijah Ware, I'm Charlie McGraw. The opening face-off here on LMC Varsity Sports on the brand new sodded out turf. As you can see, the M is perfectly aligned. Last time it wasn't right in the middle, and they also put in new goalposts for the soccer, and they added to the stands and took away the opposing stands that weren't used much. But besides that, basically the same field. They did it right after basically football. It was here in late November. But anyway, Pleasantville wins the face-off. Shane Smith loses a rare one, and they'll have the ball here towards the Pleasantville goal. And there's no shot clock in high school lacrosse, but there is in college now. There is a stall warning. You can't stall, Elijah.
Okay. So how long before you know that they're stalling? Is
well,
it like a referee decision?
Yeah, it's a ref. Yeah, they'll yell it out, and usually loud enough that we could hear it.
Okay. So that was Carney that won the opening face-off against Smith, and he got lower than Smith and dug that one out of there. And now Pleasantville, they've had the ball for a minute. Yeah, about a minute now, trying to get it into the teeth of the defense, but
Freed picks up a loose play, and it goes right back to Pleasantville, and a quick turnover, so Pleasantville will have the ball right back, and Mamaroneck had it for about 3 seconds and lost it, and they have it in front here towards the goal, and he can't get a shot off of Freed. Harrigan played good defense, and he guards him here.
Yeah, I think he should have took that shot. He had an opportunity there. He may not have had as clear of an angle, but he could have got one off the dirt to come up, maybe. Or off the turf, I should say, the new field.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Elijah.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's like hockey. I watch the NHL, and it's like they wait for the perfect shot, but if they took more shots, you get goals on rebounds and stuff, and lacrosse as well, too. And that shot is wide, backed up, though, by Pleasantville, and they'll get the ball back. So the clock will stop right now, and then the official will blow the whistle, and they'll get it back. As we saw before the game, the backup goalie, Anthony Martinez, had the job of brought the bucket around the whole field, dropping balls around the whole field. That bucket's got to lighten up each ball he drops. He basically went around the whole field and did it, and there's one within every 7 yards of, and they'll pick one up here as it first turnover by Pleasantville as they backed it up, but now it's brought in, and we can see this high-powered offense. Shane Smith will bring it forward, and called him a Fogo in the opening, and LMC Community Sports producer Rob Moretti corrected me and said he's more, well, he comes off now, but he does a lot more than just Fogo, as he's very good at that, but he is a midi as well, and one of their 6 captains. I've never seen a team have 6 lacrosse captains before, but this team does.
Spread the love.
This team does. Will Martin, Tom Conley, Declan Harrigan, Connor Miller Smith, Yeah, the roster's so big, like some guys barely know each other, right? What do they have, like 40, almost 40? 37, and Pleasantville has a 19.
Yeah, so we'll see if Mamaroneck can use that to their advantage, keep fresh bodies in the game, and just keep the pressure up the entire game against Pleasantville.
If you look at the sidelines, yeah, Mamaroneck's got the 25 people, and Pleasantville has the 5. Save made by the goalie from Pleasantville.
And Mamaroneck, they're going to have to try to find some good cutters. Someone cutting maybe down the middle of the defense. I see an opening right now in the Pleasantville defense. So we'll see if they're able to exploit that throughout this game. Pleasantville has some pretty big guys on the back line. So, number 25, Willie Cahill, and number 29, Jack Collins. They got some big guys back there supporting their goalie, and
scores.
It doesn't matter.
As that one is scored by Mamaroneck's Cameron Theed. So Mamaroneck takes the 1-0 lead as they had the ball for 2 minutes after not having it for the first minute and 50 seconds. And then Theed scores, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, that was a great, strong shot, good pass, and basically a layup there for Mamaroneck. So as soon as I talked about the back line of Pleasantville, you know, they got some big guys back there. It didn't seem to matter on that one, as Mamaroneck gets the first score with 8:14 left to go in the first quarter.
3 minutes and 46 seconds in, and Shane Smith wins his, had it, and then he lost it, so he won't get, and just like that, it's picked up by Pleasantville, so it took 11 seconds to determine who won the faceoff, but Pleasantville's 2 for 2 on the faceoffs, as it was won by Pleasantville once again, but offsides on Pleasantville, far side of the field. Official called it, and it'll be a turnover for Pleasantville. First game for Pleasantville. Mamaroneck had jitters in their first one, as they have the rare opportunity of, they had the Mike Doherty, the low HUD reporter, he jinxed them basically, made them the favorite against Yorktown. As a Duke hater, I don't like to say this, but basically the Duke of high school lacrosse in Westchester County.
If you're going to compare
the powerhouse,
them to Duke, what were they doing?
Or the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, Yorktown's been the best team forever, but maybe they were going to be a little off this year, and he said Mamaroneck was going to be the top team. He had them 1, Yorktown 2, and then Mamaroneck lost 9-7 because they had a slow start in their first game.
But there's
no scandal. It was also
Yorktown's
first game, I think.
Is there a scandal with Yorktown? Or?
No, well,
okay.
I mean, I don't like Duke. I'm just like the Yankees. We'll say the Yankees.
Okay.
But mine and Rob's team, yeah. We'll say the Yankees. They're like basically the top, you know, the pinnacle.
And that was a good
shot
there.
Is no goal by Martin, as the scoop shot was pretty by Will Martin as it went through, but it's waved off by the official in front of us, and it's still 1-0 Tigers with 6:35 left. So basically Yorktown as the top program. Mamaroneck goes in there. They're hyped up, as there was actually a week ago today, as the Journal News predicted that they would win, and they lost 9-7. And what Coach Barnard described as they were just very jittery. Everyone was nervous. They have a couple new guys, but in general, the team was just it was their first game, and like we've seen with Pleasantville a little bit here earlier on a couple turnovers, the offsides and stuff, it's their first game. Also, to only have like the 7 subs and one's a backup goalie, that's gotta be tough.
But sometimes that can work into a team's favor as well. Like, you know, the guys know that they're not coming out of the game. They're able to get into a rhythm and just play with supreme confidence throughout.
Illegal foul, as the shot was saved by Jack Freed, but it won't count as it was a penalty against Jack Howe from the Panthers, so it'll go to Mamaroneck nonetheless. But it was a good save and an interception, bad pass by Shane Smith. Oh! Damn. Shane Smith with the vicious hit. That could be That's a 2-minute penalty at least. He checked him to the ground, and got jacked up. Wow.
I like that.
That was some hit. Shane Smith, he was mad about that turnover. Really mad about that turnover. He threw it right to him, and he showed it on that tackle.
So why was that a penalty? Is it because he hit him in the head?
Yeah, he hit him with his stick in the head, and he laid him out. And yeah.
So that was a big hit, though. Maybe he should have got a little lower, laid with the shoulder, but.
And he used the stick to make contact with the head. The way he lowered the stick to the head. And pushed him to the ground basically. And also, it doesn't help that it was bigger than the guy. It was 16, and it's up to Jack Halloran, and another turnover for Pleasantville. And as we'll probably say another couple times, it's Pleasantville's first game, and they're showing first game jitters, just as Mamaroneck did against Yorktown last Saturday. Brought up here by Reed Sakakini.
Well, looks like Pleasantville is trying to get a trap in the corner, but Sakakini runs out of there.
Coach Barnard with the first time out of the game. We'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Elijah Ware. I'm Charlie McGraw. Tom Conley going right to the goal. The wraparound scores! Tom Conley all by himself right out of the timeout. And that's just how Barnard drew it up.
That was a good, strong play right there from Connolly. He used his speed to get to the net, got the wraparound score. 4:50 left, 2-0, Mamaroneck up.
And if Mamaroneck could score a couple more here and they go up 5-6-0 after one, that's almost too much for, I mean, it's not, that's what happened to them. They were down 4-0 against Yorktown and lost 9-7. If they go up 5-0 after one, could be lights out. For Pleasantville, especially with the lack of depth Pleasantville looks like they have, and the turnovers they've made in the first one. With Shane Smith on the sideline, still in timeout for the penalty. Declan, well, he's on the knee there, yeah, because it was a major. I think it was a 2-minute non-releasable. Now he's allowed to go back in, and he will. But Declan Harrigan took the face-off, and they called it legal play against Pleasantville, so he won it, but Pleasantville got the ball right back. Actually, they might have called it against Harrigan, but Pleasantville got it nonetheless. And there's 4:15 to go, 2-0 Tigers.
Pleasantville just looking for something, try to get some offensive rhythm going, but they can't seem to get too close to the goal.
And the one shot we saw by them didn't count because there's a penalty or a legal play right before it. As this one is popped up and Jack Freed pounces on it and he gets laid out and the official didn't see it. The one official was backpedaling and didn't see it, and the other official didn't really see it. So, I mean, just because, well, he's the goalie and the way he got hit, it looked illegal. What was that? That's a long throw by Michael Bennett, the junior who's already committed to play at Division I Fairfield when he graduates in 2020 next year. The early commit. Threw it about 95 yards basically. So it hit the netting behind the goalpost on a fly. The shot is passed and it's scooped up, and a foul called against the Tigers, so it'll be a free play here for Pleasantville. And Jack Howe, the co-captain along with Pat Doherty, with 3:10 left. Score! Pleasantville's on the board. Pat Doherty following the foul scores, and he started with it just like the Conley goal, except Conley's was from behind the goal, and that was a unassisted play where score on the run as it's 2-1 with 3:04 left, and all ideas of them going up 4 or 5-0 to start the game for Mamaroneck are put away. But if they still can score 2 more, go up 4-1, that would be a good
that was
one.
a great shot there by Doherty. Running left, shooting back right across his body, and gets it into the net. just snuck it past Freed. So they closed the gap a little bit. So we'll see how this quarter finishes for both teams.
He basically bounced it in, too.
Right.
But it was a perfect spot as it's picked up by Michael Bennett in the face-off win for Shane Smith, his first. He's 1 for 3 now, and picked up here by Jack Longer. Passes to Conley, a penalty coming against Pleasantville. Delayed penalty. Martin, and score! Martin to Cameron Thede, and he's got 2 goals, the junior first-year player. And Will Martin with the assist, and Cameron Thede with his second goal, and it's 3-1. It takes away the penalty.
So we thought this was going to be a defensive game, well, at least I did. But Mamaroneck really getting some points on the board here early in this game. So we'll see how Pleasantville responds after going down 3-1, after just getting a goal and giving one right back.
Sean Mueller will take the face-off for Pleasantville versus Shane Smith. Smith 1 for 3 so far, well below his career average on face-offs. Yeah. And they'll set it up. That's the thing. It takes sometimes they have to make sure.
Stop playing.
Let him go. And now they play. And Smith wins it easily. Goes right towards the goal. Passes to Martin. Martin behind the goal.
Come back.
Thing about Lacrosse, they start on the other side, the offensive players, and he passes to Connor, and it's knocked out by Pleasantville, then picked up by Morris Jansen, the junior.
High post.
Connor, the future Penn Quaker, Division I Ivy Leaguer, has it. He passes to Jansen. Jansen to Martin.
It's a good flash there from Connolly. Gets some movement going.
Tom Conley gets it here. Conley has it. Someone's calling for it.
They need
back to Connor, top of the arc. Back to the 2-goal man, Thede, looking for the first quarter hat trick. But we won't get it over there as he has it now with 1:40 left in this first quarter. And Martin has it.
Oh.
Passes to Morris Jansen. Another flag thrown, so another delayed penalty here against the Panthers. Played to Conley. He gets hit in the head again.
Ooh, that was
a nice save, but after he got hit in the head, they didn't even call that part. They called penalty before. Interference, it looks like, against, the X is interference in hockey. So I think it's the same in lacrosse. Yeah, interference called by Eric Roy. Eric and Jack Roy, number 7 and 9 for Pleasantville. But that was against Eric Roy.
So Pleasantville is a man down right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Mamaroneck was before with Shane Smith. When he went out, they were a man down.
Right.
But they got that turnover. Score by J.B. Connor, assisted by Jack Longer, and it's 4-1.
Mamaroneck got some dogs out there, huh? As we can see.
As mentioned, they have 7 guys committed to play in college. 2 Division I. Michael Bennett, 2020 at Fairfield. Danny Jewell, Division III Trinity. Shane Smith, Division III Union. J.B. Connor, Ivy League, Division I, University of Pennsylvania. Gettysburg for Declan Harrigan, Division III in Pennsylvania. Wesleyan, Division III, Will Martin and Tom Conley. Middlebury, Division III as well. So 5 guys going to play Division III and 2 playing Division I, and they all 6 seniors and 1 junior with the early commit. I think J.B. Connor committed to UPenn last year. He did, very early. Who's the guy, the real good player? He committed to a school in Pennsylvania, Bucknell, like 2 or 3. Reed Malice a couple of years ago. So Mamaroneck has had a couple guys commit early, last couple of years. But we'll be right back on LMC TV. A timeout by Pleasantville. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside cameraman Xavier the X-Man Campo, Sean Kelly, Rob Moretti, who's also the LMC community sports producer, and alongside Elijah Ware, I'm Charlie McGraw. Was a timeout by Pleasantville as they retain possession, and they have it here as starting with it and getting it back was Jack Howe. 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Pleasantville trailing Mamaroneck 4-1. They have the ball wide, and it'll be backed up by the Panthers with 26 seconds stopped on the clock. And this is a huge possession here, Elijah.
Yeah, Pleasantville, they're down 4-1, time ticking away in the first quarter. See if they can get some momentum going to try to stay in this game, as Mamaroneck has been sharp and on point on both sides of the ball just thus far.
As that ball kind of scrambled out, picked up by Pleasantville, 8 seconds to go, brought in by Howe. And he tries to push it in, and he does. He basically fights it past the goalie, Freed, and they tried to argue that he was in the crease, but they get the goal, and Howe will score.
And needed that one.
They had video reviewed, they would have reviewed it. It was close, but it looked like the right call.
Yeah. But a big goal there to end the quarter for Pleasantville.
It's 2 seconds basically, yeah, it ends it the way the face-offs take. They'll set this face-off up, it'll take at least 12, 15 seconds just to set him up, and then for 2 seconds for nothing here, Elijah. Setting it up now, 4-2, we'll go to the end of the first quarter, and Smith just knocks it away. And 4-2, 12 minutes gone by in this one. We'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. Pleasantville trails Mamaroneck. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, entering the second quarter alongside Elijah Ware. I'm Troy McGraw. It is 4-2 Mamaroneck. Shane Smith versus Garrett Carney. We've seen a couple guys take the face-offs for Pleasantville. Just Shane Smith and Declan Harrigan when Shane Smith was in the penalty box. This is some scrum here, though, as it's picked up by Felix Miller, one of the 6 captains for Mamaroneck. JB Connor with the snipe shot, just wide, backed up by Feed.
Tried to hit him with one real quick out of the break.
Hit him when they're not looking, and just wide, but Feed backed it up. So Mamaroneck saw it, and 11:25 left in this first half. The wind is still howling. It's the only reason it's cold, really. Yeah. It was a beautiful day today, 65 degrees, and now it's like, I think mid-50s, thank you, Radar Rob. Mid-50s, but the wind is like fierce, like it's like maybe 10 miles per hour, 15, and it's behind us. None of the players have long sleeves on under their pads, but they're all, they're running out there, so. Ooh, that shot is wide, backed up by Will Martin, just backed up, and it'll stay with the Tigers. As they switch sides at since the first quarter ended and it's the second quarter, Mamaroneck going in the direction they defended, and vice versa for Pleasantville. As this is how the game started on this side. Pleasantville had it for this long to start the game. They didn't score though, as Mamaroneck has it this long now to start this quarter on this side. Connor has it, he has 1 goal. 2 goals for Feed and a goal for Conley. Conley's was probably the best one of them, as he, right out of the timeout he had it, and it was behind the goal, and then he just kind of came in and beat 3 guys and just scooted it by him. Probably the best of the 3 goals. He gets hit in the back by a stick, and the official right in front of him didn't really see it. And Conley passes.
Oh, he saw it.
It didn't call it. As Connor passes, and that one goes to Pleasantville, as they're finally able to get it after 2 minutes and 15 seconds. At the very least, Mamaroneck took that time off the clock and had the ball that time. We'd like to see a goal there that much time, but they'll take it. As they took that much time. Oh, that's a bad bouncy little pass, but it's caught on the far side by Matt Fusello from Jack Collins is the two defensemen now. They're playing catch with one another, and bounces another one. A couple of risky passes, but they're caught by the Panthers. And Connor slashing at Howe. We'll see how long Pleasantville could have it on offense after Mamaroneck had it for 2 minutes and 15 seconds without scoring.
Yeah, it'll be big for Pleasantville if they can get a goal here, cut the lead back down to 1 after being down by 3. So that goal at the end of the first quarter was huge for them, especially if they can capitalize here and close the gap even more.
Right, Jack Howe with 2 seconds left in the first quarter as Mamaroneck was up 2-0. And then it was 2-1, and then it was 4-1 Mamaroneck, and then 4-2, and it's blocked by Freed. Freed makes the save with his body, then picks it up, and Jack Freed with a good save to keep it at 4-2 as minute 10 possession for Pleasantville is stopped. And that one goes around. Freed doesn't see it. It's right behind him, and he flips it up in the air as he's going towards the sidelines, and it's caught by...
Ooh, he had a man.
Yeah, as the line is the blue and the red, the ones that intersect each other where the cone is the photographers. Right here is just behind it, but that's where it is. And that's why he did that crazy play, yeah. It's like one of those in basketball where they're trying to save it and they just throw it up in the air. And, but the other team winds up getting it. As Pleasantville gets another possession, and as there were, scores! Pleasantville goal, Jake Coleman makes it 4-3, so we saw them nearly score a minute before, then they get the turnover, and then they score there, and it's 4-3, 7:51 left, and it's 1-0 in this quarter in favor of Pleasantville.
Yeah, so this game far from over, as we can see, 4-3, Mamaroneck still in the lead, but Pleasantville isn't going to go away easily. Here being on the road at Mamaroneck, they're going to continue to fight until the whistle blows. So Mamaroneck has to regroup, rethink how they're playing defense, and keep Pleasantville from getting shots on the net.
And 2 in a row for Pleasantville as they scored with the 2 seconds left, Jack Howe and then Jake Coleman. So Jake Coleman, Pat Darty, and Jack Howe with the 3 goals for the Panthers, and 2 goals for Cameron Thede, a goal for Tom Conley, an assist for Will Martin, and a goal for JB Connor. And the Tigers get it here, and they look to take it and score, but good defense by Pleasantville as they steal it right back. And Conley tried to steal it, and he's sandwiched by 4 green jerseys. Picked up by Thede, pass. Oh, it just hit the post. I think it hit the post the way the deflection by the Tigers. And that must have been a JV call-up as we don't have his number. All the players on here, this roster, we don't have number 32. So we'll have to get that for Mamaroneck as he just came in and hit the post. So Pleasantville has it here, and they can tie it with a goal with 7 minutes and counting left in this first half here at Memorial Field. The first boys game on this new sodded out turf.
And you hear the Pleasantville fans yelling that everyone's a threat. That's very key to an offensive attack. Everyone just being a threat to score and drive the ball.
Hit the post. Here's the angle. And it's given to Pleasantville's Jack Howe, despite the yelling from the side from the Mamaroneck stands. And Pleasantville backs it up, and they'll keep it with 6:16 left. This game's been tight, and so far in the first, on the 18th minute here. Pleasantville's a goal away from tying it as they have the ball. Pleasantville has it. Halloran. As they're more cautious now, as they don't want to turn it over, Elijah.
Right.
And a save made by Jack Freed.
You can't be afraid to turn the ball over, though. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Exactly. But it's taken up by Michael Bennett, and the future Fairfield Stag passes it. And they'll try and possess it here, as they've had a couple turnovers recently, and it goes across to Feed, and he gets hit, and he's hit on the ground. That you cannot do. He had it on the ground, and they hit him. That's the same guy. A push. Pushed him while he was on the ground. Eric Roy with his second penalty.
Yeah, that was a big hit right there. Seeing Lacrosse is less pads, but still a very physical game.
It was the fact that he checked him to the ground. That was okay, but then when he was on the ground, he hit him there, and Thede draws the penalty. And neither team, they both had a couple power plays, but neither one has really scored on the power play yet, except now. J.B. Connor assisted by Lauinger.
Right over the head.
His second assist.
So that was a big goal there from Mamaroneck. Get a little bit more of a cushion after the 2 unanswered goals from Pleasantville. Mamaroneck finally gets back on the board and gets their lead back up to 2 with 5:08 left to go in the second quarter.
J.B. Connor making a case for the early post-game interview. Talked to him last year after a playoff game, I think. Done so many interviews here at LMC Varsity Sports, you kind of forget some of them. But yeah, it's Shane Smith, he gets it. We talked to him last year about his tactics on the face-off. I think he said basically like something just, try to just take it away from him, basically. Oh, the scoreboard went out.
It's opening day.
Opening day. Oh, it's back on the time. That's all they need. As it's 5:03, and it's back on. It does that sometimes. It also, before it counted, it said 29, and then it stopped for 3 seconds, and then it said 26. It does that a lot. Don't you think if they did a whole the makeover, they should have got a new scoreboard too? No.
The same one.
No, I mean, should have though, right, Rob? Oh, Conley with the ESPN Sports Center attempt. That was like a golf chip from the ground. He basically had it on the ground and chipped it and backwards, and it went over the thing, but it was backed up, so they get it back. I think went over the fence. Passes Lau. Timeout. Pleasantville, right before the restart, I guess. They called timeout, as it was Mamaroneck's ball. But we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, following the Pleasantville timeout, Mamaroneck will get it back, and they will bring it forward towards the Pleasantville goal. Martin getting through the double team, and he loses it, and it's picked up by Pleasantville and brought forward.
That 40-yard dash and that 40-yard dash time in Lacrosse looks very important. As if you can sprint out in front of the defense, get a good fast break going, and get some good easy shots on goal.
That one's picked up by Freed as the wind picks up once again, and nearly intercepted, but it's picked up by Connor, looking for that hat trick, and he passes it though. No, actually, he keeps it. Now he passes to Conley with 3 minutes left in this first half. And Mamaroneck up 5-3.
It's getting just a little bit nippy out here. The wind blowing.
Shoots and scores! Tom Conley flair for the dramatic, as that was a corner goal. And before anyone thought he was going to shoot it, and he just puts it in the corner, and it's 4 It's 2 goals for Conley, 6-3.
Big response from Mamaroneck getting 2 back-to-back goals after Pleasantville cut the lead to 1. So now the Tigers are back in control, up 6-3. 2:49 to go here in this second quarter. And Mamaroneck is in good shape, taking it to the defending Class D champs.
Mamaroneck, the defending Class A section champs. Pleasantville, the Class D state champs. And Mamaroneck was up by 4 goals with 6 minutes to go or in the Class A regional final at Lakeland. Rob and I were there. It was live on LMC. I think we were not live, but it was on LMC TV. We covered it and scores! We'll have to get you who that was at the half, but he scores a goal. 7-3. And the Tigers have scored 3 in a row, but they lost to a team from Long Island? Oh, upstate. Yeah, Niskayuna, right? That's Long Island. No, upstate, yeah. Yeah, Albany region. Section 4 or 3. Well, they were up by 4 goals in the regional final and they lost. And then Niskayuna lost by about 12 goals to the Long Island team. Was it St. Anthony's?
Whoever was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Long Island, always a lacrosse powerhouse. Conley has it. He has 2 goals. 7-3, Mamaroneck looking to bust this one wide open. They go up 8-3 at the half. And stolen by Pleasantville and basically took the life out of the Pleasantville crowd, but they get the cheers going now with 1:50 to go as Pleasantville gets the ball. Brings it forward and carried up by Pat Doherty, who has one of the goals. Towards the goal, Doherty throws it high, but it is backed up by Jack Halloran. Played behind the goal by Jack Halloran. And sprinting with the ball quickly was Jake Coleman, who has a goal. Defended well by Bennett. And out of bounds, backed up by Pleasantville. Clock stops, 1:17 left in this second quarter with Mamaroneck up 7-3. And Pleasantville with the ball with 1:10 remaining.
It's a big possession here for Pleasantville. They really want to get a goal out of this before the end of the half.
It's huge, huge as Freed stops the shot from 20-yard shot out and bounces around, picked up by the Panthers. Another save by Freed, looking like his hockey self in goal, and plays the shot. Another save by Freed. What a sequence by Jack Freed, and he can't get it out though. Bennett picks it up with 35 seconds, and they can't clear it as it's picked up, and Pleasantville doesn't know where it is, and now it's picked up there by Jack Howe, and some sequence by Jack Freed. It bounces in front of him, and now he'll pick it up, and with 20 seconds left, maybe just chuck it. No, he plays it short. Lets the defender play it forward, and Mamaroneck 13 seconds. They could try and make this 8-3. That would be a big
Push.
as Sakakini, the countdown from the sidelines. Connor at the buzzer, wide. So Connor can't get the first half hat trick, but the Tigers lead 7-3 here on LMC Varsity Sports. And we'll be right back with the second half here on LMC TV. Back here at the start of the second half, and it's 7-3 lead for Mamaroneck, and the opening face-off of the second half is won by Shane Smith. And Elijah, when I went over to get some information from the names of the goal scorer, Henry Rayner, and then I walked by and the Pleasantville coach, Chris Keir, was talking to his team and we're still is telling them they're still in this game and that they just need to keep at it and keep up and giving them confidence, and they are still in this one, but there's a flag there that doesn't help, but they are 7-3, they're still in it.
Yeah, this game is far from over. We've seen they can score in bunches and in spurts, but it's just going to come down to the defense, and because Mamaroneck is getting such easy shots on goal and easy angles to get shots into the net. So it's going to come down to defense for Pleasantville, and most of the time all defense is a will to win, that desire, and whoever's hungrier. So we'll see if Pleasantville can dig deep and erase this deficit that they dug themselves in the first half.
Well, it won't help that they have a quick penalty, 34 seconds in, taken by Jack Collins. About the 4th or 5th they've had, and the last one they had, they scored right away. And they score right there, right away. Tom Conley to Will Martin. And it is that combination we saw a lot last year, and Conley to Martin, and Martin has a goal and an assist and then 2 goals for Tom Conley, and it's 8-3 as it's a power play, a man advantage goal for the Tigers, and they lead 8-3. And at this point, it's tough seeing Pleasantville even scoring 8 goals the way Jack Freed's been playing.
Yeah, that's not how Pleasantville wanted the second half to start off.
With the penalty to start and then the goal.
So, a bad start to the second half. Still a lot of time left on the clock. Good thing it did happen early, so if you want to look at the bright side for them. But Mamaroneck coming out sharp, taking advantage of the power play, and they've expanded their lead to 5. The biggest lead of the game.
Picked up by Garrett Carney as he wins the face-off. He brings it towards the goal, and they will pull it back.
Stop running around!
Passes it as he goes to the sidelines, and him and Connor go off at the same time. Plays it here towards the goal.
Hey, Declan, you got something.
Declan Harrigan knocks the stick off of the Pleasantville player, picked up by Pleasantville on the far sideline, and Brennan McDermott.
Pleasantville really unable to get anything going towards the goal. All 3 of their goals, maybe one of them was an easy shot, but most of their goals took a lot of effort in order to get in position to get that shot. So Mamaroneck doing a good job defensively here in their 3rd game of the season, and you got to think that is an advantage for Mamaroneck, this being their 3rd game and Pleasantville's 1st. So they've done a great job with this 8-3 lead.
And Jack Freed had a sequence where he had about 4 saves. He has about 6 saves. Usually the goalies give up more goals than saves. On the Pleasantville side, Brian Wilson, the goalie, has maybe about 5 saves estimated, 4 or 5 saves, and Freed has about 6. He's played very well, where he's left off on the ice. So it's crazy. He's just a sophomore. This is his 2nd year starting on the turf in goal, and his 2nd year starting on the 2 years in a row he started on the ice from Mamaroneck. He could shatter a lot of the goalie records by the great Tommy Spira. But he played 3 years, right? Because didn't he leave for like a boarding school or something? Oh, but he played. How many years did Tom Spiro play? 4, okay. And Freed will play 4 too. One of the best freshman goalies Freed was last year. A sophomore this year, and Shane Smith with that burst of speed we saw on the football field as a running back, but it gets it stolen as it was almost too fast as it got knocked away by Jack Collins, who passes to the goalie Wilson, who throws it all the way up, and a rip of a hit by Declan Harrigan into the fencing as he lays him out there.
I like that. He's still down.
The trainer will run out, and we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports Injury Timeout here at Mamaroneck. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Elijah Ware and Charlie McGraw went off of Pleasantville, and after the hit by Declan Harrigan, Reed Zucchini will have it as getting up was Matt Fusello after the big hit by Harrigan, but then Harrigan made sure he was okay, and they slapped hands. And
good sportsmanship by Harrigan.
Yep. You know. Pleasantville parents didn't like the call, but it didn't look like it was a helmet to helmet. It looked pretty clean from here. The only reason he got hurt too was because he rolled into the fence after. It was like right next to the fence, the black fence, which came into play, which is crazy because it was beyond the, kind of like rolled into it himself, way beyond the blue and red lacrosse out of bounds line.
Ooh, broke his ankles.
Yeah, broke his ankles and made him drop his stick.
Hey, that's extra.
Yeah, that's extra. That's, yeah. Let's just get off the field and come back another day. And won, right? As that was Morris Jansen who made that move on the defender.
So it looks like Mamaroneck is really, I don't think they're stalling just yet, but they're really taking their time and
8-3.
And looking for a good shot in order to try and expand this lead.
Not officially, but the official just put his hands up, but not officially gave him the warning. Now he is, I think, yeah, something in that nature, and it's go time for the Tigers. And had a chance at the hat trick, did Cameron Feed, but missed it high, picked up by Tom Conley behind the goal, looking for a hat trick of his own. Because he's got 2, Connor has 2, and the aforementioned Feed has 2. Nice pass, and it's wide, backed up, doesn't even go out, so they can still play Ken Feed. He picks it up, passes to the ankle breaker, Jansen. Picked up by Connor. Wasted about 2 minutes so far in this possession.
I know Pleasantville is really getting antsy here. As time is ticking, the score order time is not in their favor right now, and that was a near goal there.
Backed up by Jansen and
so Cam Feed almost got a goal there.
Which would have been his 3rd and the first hat trick for a Tiger tonight. As Jansen gets hit hard. Backed up by Conley. As trying to make a diving effort to back it up was Ray Refsky, but Conley was in the closer to it with 5:40 left and counting, and possession at the 2:20 mark as Conley passes and a goal scored by the Jack Lauinger, his first, to go along with 2 assists, and Conley has 2 assists and 2 goals, and wouldn't be surprised if Coach Chris Keir would call timeout for Pleasantville down 9-3 here.
I don't know how much you could really say to him at this point, but another good goal there from Mamaroneck. They were patient, continued moving the ball, looked for the crease in the defense, found it, found the cutter, lay up.
Don't know how some of the kids in the stands with the shorts on aren't freezing, man.
Man, I don't know.
Right?
Even the kids up on the hill,
yeah,
all of them got shorts on.
I know. It was warm this afternoon, it was short weather, but tonight it's like, that's the thing about New York. It can go from 0 to 60, literally, went from 65 to 50 minus the wind. It's got probably like a feel like of the 45, and it's, wow, Tom Conley, sniper, hat trick. What a goal from 15, 20 yards out as Conley snipes it and stops my weather talk as it is 10-3 Tigers and the route is on.
Get them out of here.
Hat trick
Get him out of here.
He makes it rain out there, says Conley. That was a snipe shot.
Oh, no.
Past Brian Wilson, who was also the name of one of the Beach Boys.
Now, this game isn't over, Charlie.
Just thinking of one of their songs that could basically sum up that Conley one, but really, nothing really. I mean, they didn't. They all be California girls. Well, speaking of singing, how about the fans finishing the national anthem?
Oh,
because
yeah,
it
that
didn't
was
work.
nice.
They just sang it.
Charlie was
Coach
a little
Barnett,
bit scared to sing.
I wasn't scared.
He sung
honestly,
the last part.
I've heard the national anthem 200 times, but I don't know if I could just sing it.
Oh, you can sing it, Charlie.
By myself, because like
You gotta believe.
every word,
You gotta believe.
yeah.
Rob was singing. I seen Rob.
No, he wasn't.
Rob was singing. He
He
thought
was
about
not.
dancing too.
Conley has it again. Passes to Morris Jansen, who's trying to join the goal parade, but he'll pass to JB Connor with 4:14 remaining.
And after that last goal, Mamaroneck, they just have the momentum right now. They have a bit more of a bounce to their step because they know that they're in control. They can smell blood right now.
We're back to the football score, as at the half it was 7-3, perfect football score for a low-scoring game, the Super Bowl.
Oh, I like that. Back them down.
And now 10-3 as Conley backs him down. Passes to Connor, and he snipes it past Brian Wilson. So Conley now has 3 goals, 3 assists, and JB Connor has his own hat trick as that low shot right by Wilson, and when it rains, it pours here at Mamaroneck Memorial Field as the Tigers lead 11-3, much to the delight of this young and old crowd.
So things got ugly real quick here to start this second half.
As Rob's favorite character in anything would say, boy, that escalated quickly. That's the one Ron Burgundy of Anchorman, Will Ferrell, but it did. I mean, Mamaroneck scored 4 in a row. Actually, they were up 4-3. They were up 4-3.
Yeah.
So they've scored 7 in a row, spanning from the second
After
quarter.
those 2 straight
so that
goals.
really escalated quickly. And Pleasantville didn't really have, maybe they had 1 or 2 shot, like 1 or 2. They had that barrage, besides the barrage where Freed made like 4 saves, they didn't really have anything else where it looked like they were definitely going to score, and then Freed played great and had those 4 saves, but they have scored 7 in a row, 11-4, and could have been close to the head on the swat, but 3 minutes to go and 11-3 lead is backup goalie. Good thing I got his name too. Will Bowes warms up on the sidelines. He's a junior. The starter is a thing. And got another barn burner in March Madness. 69-67 Texas Tech with 22 seconds to go. Wow.
And who they playing?
Gonzaga. So they're the
Gonzaga.
4. Gonzaga's the 1.
And Gonzaga's always that 1 seed.
Yeah.
You know, they don't play in the strongest conference, but
Yeah, they're always good though.
right.
And they lost in the conference tournament to St. Mary's, but I mean, the conference tournament doesn't really mean anything. I saw a good story though. The guy he played for St. John's, Tariq Owens. His dad is that one is wide as Freed makes another save. His dad's like a sergeant I think in Maryland. He's a sergeant near in Baltimore, in Maryland, and he as the flag was thrown as a penalty against Mamaroneck, but he's a sergeant in Maryland, and he's had to work, so he couldn't go to the games, but if he makes the Final Four, he's going to be able to get off of work and he can go see him play in the Final Four, which is
that's nice.
kind of neat because, he's as the backup goalies in the game. Will Bowes gets a loud ovation from the Pleasantville crowd, only cheering we've heard from them in this half. But Owens actually transferred from St. John's. Tariq Owens. Yeah, I guess he's from Maryland. Yeah, he starts for them.
Okay.
It was in the post today. But the 11-3, they bring in the backup junior Will Bowes, replace Brian Wilson, finishes with 6 saves unofficially.
Mamaroneck has done a superb job of keeping them out of the defense, especially Jack Freed as he gets another save there.
Number 7, and he tries to basically jump on it with his stick, and Jack got a shot to the ribs. He's coming up. Look at him. He's come up a little.
He'd be all right.
Yeah. A little sore, and there's a hit to the face, to the chin strap. Reed Sakakini. Actually not Sakakini, excuse me, number 30, Jack Bedden, just in the game, and welcome to the game, Jack, as he gets hit in the face mask, and a delayed penalty if Tigers can't score goal number 12. But he's grabbing his arm, is Freed. They should take him out, right? 7 saves, you're up 12-3. 11-3, yeah. He's got 7 saves, and they got 2 other goalies. I think the starter is, the backup is Anthony Martinez, and then Will Charles is the 3rd stringer.
So is there like a height requirement for a goalie? Can you not be a certain height?
No, yeah, you could put Shaq in there if you want.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fair.
Well, what's that commercial where they have like the hockey goalie? It's like a Geico or something. They put like a sea lion in goal, and he like takes up the whole thing, and they're feeding. Yeah, no, exactly, right?
Shoot,
but you don't see. That's interesting though. You really don't see ones that are that tall.
That's true.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Freed, he's just almost as tall as the top bar. So is Pleasantville's goalie.
The backup, but the starter was the same too. Will Bowes, the backup.
You get like somebody in there that's like 6'6". Like,
yeah.
The wingspan, it's crazy. I guess that's the next level.
Yeah.
That's the Duke Lacrosse.
Yeah, put Zion in.
Put Zion in there.
Yeah. Just don't give him Nike.
Right.
Nike cleats. Yeah. His first save for Will Bowes. That was a good save that he made, and he's 1 for 1. Escaping Conley.
Conley wants it though.
Bowes throws it away, and it'll bounce, and the quarter will end 11-3, 4-0 quarter for Mamaroneck. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside our cameramen Ron Moretti, Sean Kelly, and Xavier the X-Man Campo, as another penalty is thrown. It's just raining laundry. I think he pushed a guy on the sidelines from Pleasantville, maybe?
Really?
That's what the penalty was? Something like that, right? That's crazy, because we were just talking about how in that Texas Tech Gonzaga game, penalty was because the guy was trying to inbound it off the sidelines, and the guy hit his arm as he's trying to inbound it. And now here, he like pushed some guy as he went into the sidelines. I think that's what happened. The way that it was thrown is tough to tell from over here. But yeah, alongside Elijah Ware and Troy McGraw as it's 11-3, another power play. Wait, who was the penalty on? Pleasantville? Wow, penalty? Somebody.
You can't just show up after.
He pushed him while he was on the sideline? Oh no, I think he pushed him into the sidelines. Well, nonetheless, it was on Felix Miller. He's on the knee there. Ooh. Score. Pleasantville's first goal since the second quarter.
They said fourth quarter.
Jake Coleman, second. It ain't over till it's over.
Fourth quarter.
As Elijah said before. 11-4. Stranger things have happened.
Fourth quarter.
No fat lady has sung yet.
Not yet, even though we were singing before the game.
Yeah.
But you know, it ain't over.
Second goal for Jake Coleman.
Lock him up, James.
Good. That's what Pleasantville wanted, though. They wanted a quick goal to start the quarter. They got that under 40 seconds. So let's see if they can win every face-off and get every goal that they can on every trip. Every trip down onto Mamaroneck side of the field, they'll need a goal.
So Elijah's laughing as JB Connor has his own cheering section in front of us. His friends, about 8 or 9 of them, bringing some humor into this game that's basically over at 11-4. It's always good when the students have the positive and the good chance, you know, not the and they're funny. They're nice, yeah.
And JB Connor, he was cool too. He interacted with the fans. I think it's always good.
Yeah, exactly.
When the players, they're not too caught up into the game. They understand their surroundings and they're living in the moment, what's going on around them. So that was pretty cool.
I wanted to book him for our interview then, but Rob said not to. Talk to him after. But yeah, he does have a hat trick along with Conley. Maybe could do a dual interview or something.
Yeah, Conley has what,
they could fight
3
it
assists?
out. Yeah, he has 3 assists, so probably Conley, but either one of them.
Oh, that was a great pass, though. There go JB's assist.
JB Connor with his first assist.
Oh, no. 4th quarter.
And goal by Morris Jansen. Yeah, the 4th quarter thing is just like the let's do that hockey. It's like folklore.
4th quarter, anything can happen.
12-4. When's running clock, Rob?
10.
Right when you score the 10th, they run it? Or it? Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
So if you're up by 10, they run the clock?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's possible, but it's still 12-4. This is not getting any warmer. Even though the wind has stopped a little, it's just later. I did take a risk playing this game at 7. It could be a lot colder. On March 30th, it could be a lot colder. Come on. Really, too many whistles. Because with lacrosse, Elijah, when every time they blow a whistle, the clock stops. So those 12-minute quarters become 25 minutes.
So Mamaroneck still in control here as they look to expand on their lead once again.
Jeez, 8:26, almost an hour and a half game. Crazy. We started at about 7:08 because we were supposed to start at 7, but the national anthem without the thing, and Barrett tried to fix it, and then Coach Barnard said, let's just play, and then the crowd started singing, and then
the players started singing.
And then they were all off. Elijah was singing ahead of them.
It was too slow. I was like, come on. I don't got that much wind. I can't hit those notes like that.
It was more like a saying it out loud than singing. It was picked up by Pleasantville as they come out with the scrub near their goal and going ahead with it, and JB Connor with the slash to knock it loose, but it's picked up by Pleasantville, and getting through it is Jake Coleman, and he puts it wide as Freed is still in net as he shook off the injury. Backed up by Freed and Felix Miller, and Mamaroneck will get it and they'll play it forward, and Miller makes a nice pass to JB Connor, the fan favorite, and he'll bring it forward with 9 minutes and counting. 3 goals and an assist for him to Tom Conley, who leads all scorers with 3 goals and 3 assists.
Connor said no stalling.
Will Martin has it behind the goal. Clock stops 8:48 and restarts. Will
good pick right
Martin loses the ball. Picked up by Lauinger, who has a goal and 2 assists. Will Martin, save made by Will Bowes, his second. Martin picks it up. He has a goal and an assist, brings it in. Passes to Lauinger, and it's stolen by the Panthers, and they'll bring it up with 8:15 left in this contest and trailing 12-4.
1 goal a minute, per minute.
For Pleasantville, that's what they would need. And he scores it.
There you go.
So there's that goal. Jake Coleman has a hat trick. Bounces it past Freed.
I believe, Charlie. 4th quarter. You gotta believe. things happen in the fourth quarter that don't usually happen.
Put up the four
throughout
fingers.
The first 3 quarters.
The 4 fingers for the fourth quarter. Yeah.
You know?
It gets colder in the fourth quarter.
This is where the men are separated from the boys. Fourth quarter. It's a little colder now. The light's a little brighter.
Not really.
Field shining.
The 4 lights. They only have the 4 lampposts, which is like kind of small, but they're the bigger ones, so I guess they shine brighter and they're lower. The agreement, the way they shine, they're lower. They can't. Do they have a technical curfew or not really?
And what was that, Ref?
Push against Mamaroneck, so it'll stay in Pleasantville. And Elijah, who's suddenly rooting for, I think, are you rooting for are those Under Armour jerseys? Are you rooting for them because of you like Under Armour because you're from Maryland?
Well, my favorite color is green, so
yeah.
I like their jerseys.
Nah, yeah. And you want to see some life.
And I mean, I'm
this
not
was a good game in the first
them.
half. I mean, it was 4-3, and then Mamaroneck made it 7-3. I know, you're just saying.
My high school actually had similar colors to Mamaroneck.
What high school was that again?
Westlake High School.
Oh yeah, Westlake.
Waldorf, Maryland.
Yeah.
But we were orange and teal.
There's a Westlake in Westchester, Class B.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. And I think there's a Westlake in Texas, so I think they're really good.
And Atlanta, too.
That's a save by Freed, a jump save and a catch by Freed. And Reed's Sekakini has it, and calling for it is the defender.
Good pass.
And the score, Conley Martin, 13-5, Tigers. Just like that, takes the air out of any comeback ideas.
Great ball movement there from Mamaroneck.
Conley, 4 assists in this fourth quarter. Now in this fourth quarter, to go along with 3 goals. And Will Martin saw them hook up so many times last year, and they've hooked up about twice. Well, actually, maybe all 3. I think Conley assisted both of Martin's goals, and Martin assisted Conley's goals, so 3 hookups from them. One of the best duos in tandems offensively there. And I mean, Connor is a midi, but Will Martin and Tom Conley are both attack. So they're like, I mean, 1 and 2, they're like bacon and eggs. Or hot dog and ketchup. And Connor's like Connor would be like they would be like the hot dog and mustard, and Connor would be like the sauerkraut. You know, he's like the midi who really adds to it.
Charlie.
Come on, what would you say? The way the combination they are.
I would have said like the cheese and the burger or something. Yo,
I'm
very
cold.
Hungry, cold. At least I don't have to pee. That would be a terrible combination.
It's hard being a sim.
Conley.
So Mamaroneck taking their time.
Let's just hope Coach Barnard comes over quickly for the post-game interview. He's been known to take his time on the sidelines, but it's late and you gotta figure.
So that's
I think he lives in Connecticut, so that helps. So he probably wants to get home.
Right, Saturday night.
Yeah.
What you doing tonight, Charlie?
I don't know. I'm trying to warm up, man.
I know you got something planned.
Oh my God. What about you? I know Iona, right?
Man, I got invited to go out to the bar. Might go out and get a couple drinks or something.
Oh my God.
You know.
Only in a 13-5 game. Elijah giving out his.
You high school kids, y'all take your time.
Yeah. What?
Don't go out and get any drinks tonight.
Oh my God.
But me, I'm 21. 21 and tons
That's
of fun.
it? I thought you were 22, bro.
Oh no, I turned 22 in May.
Oh, bro. Yeah, my birthday's May too. When's your birthday?
14.
Yeah, the 1st.
Oh, okay.
I thought Freed was coming out that he wanted to try and score or something, but he goes back in. Well, he's still 10 yards forward, but they pass. There still is a lacrosse game going on. Why are you calling timeout now, Coach Barnard? Seriously. 13-5, up 8 goals, 5:03. We'll be right back here on LMC Varsity Sports. All right, back here on LMC Varsity Sports as Connor has it. So I gave Rob his work to cut out there. As it's played in to number 2, Morris Jansen, not Derek Jeter. Number 2. So that's why he called timeout, to do this. to play little game.
No stalling, Mamaroneck, remember.
I know, but it's fine because the clock doesn't stop, but I still don't understand why he called time.
I think Mamaroneck should still stay aggressive, still try to drive the ball to the net.
There's a lot of the students filed out as we just saw a group leaving here. There's probably went to go pregame. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I was watching a podcast show.
Not to, oh yeah, which one?
No Chill Gil. You know Gilbert Arenas?
Who called timeout now? Pleasantville. So we'll be right back here on LMC Varsity Sports.
Dang.
Apparently this game has turned into a timeout fest. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports. So they had the ball at Mamaroneck as they make a wholesale of changes. Matt Marcini, Henry Edens in for the Tigers, and along with Laird, Crinner. And so it's passed to Vicinelli. But that timeout was taken by Pleasantville because Pleasantville, Mamaroneck, I think they just had restarted with it, so they were allowed to call a timeout. But a couple of times they called timeout where I wasn't sure they would be allowed to, but they did Pleasantville. Also, a couple of times called timeout, didn't understand why. Both coaches. But nonetheless, we got 3:15 to play. And Elijah, what was that podcast story?
Oh yeah, since you wanted to cut me off, I could have told my story during the timeout. But we're back now.
So what was it?
Gilbert
it's appropriate,
Arenas,
right?
He was just talking about like the importance of garbage time, and it's not really garbage time. This is where a lot of the players that don't get the chance to play get some experience, can get better. You know, and it's like, I'm getting in the game with 2 minutes left. I barely played the whole season, so I'm not just gonna hold the ball. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna try to score. I'm gonna, play as hard as I can to show the coach that I should be out on the field. So it's never garbage time if you want to take that approach. And those are the words of the great Gilbert Arenas.
That was definitely appropriate, yeah. Isn't Arenas the guy who got caught with a gun that time or something?
Oh my God.
Yeah, in the locker room with Criterion, the guy Criterion. Criterion went to jail, I think, right?
Javaris Crittenton.
Yeah, like he threatened him with a gun or something.
Right. Yeah. And Crittenton,
Crittenton, he didn't get in trouble for that, but then like later on, I think he's in jail, Crittenton.
For murder. Right? He murdered a woman in Atlanta.
And he played for the Wizards, right?
Right.
So he was okay, right? He wasn't that.
He was all right.
He was like a role. He was like a bench player. Right?
He was a young guy. He was about 23, and they were just.
And he murdered somebody. Wow.
Yeah. I think he was with a gang or something in Atlanta. So.
Wow. The backup goalie is in. That is Anthony Martinez. Don't know why I said Henry. Sorry, Anthony. Plays it to the new defender, Max Nodiff.
The pass. Oh.
I think that's like the third Nodiff. Was his sister played? She was good. Molly, right? She was good. Field hockey player for the Legend. loves when I call him the Legend, John Savage. As they play it here. Pleasantville trying to score a tie, backed up by the Panthers. Thing is, like Pleasantville can't do wholesale changes like Mamaroneck because they only have like 7 guys. They took out like all their starters and everybody, but they still have to play a couple. Lacrosse is 9 plus the goalie. 10 plus the goalie. Yeah, it's 9 plus the goalie, 10 on the field. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right, you like I both thought it was 10. Nice pass by the backup goalie, but it's intercepted by Pleasantville. A long one. Good shot there by Martinez. Could have seen the second stringers really looking, but none of them scored. 30 seconds to go. It's all good, but the final score, passing it and not making the catch, was Sean Mueller from Jack Roy.
So
assume Eric Roy's younger.
If Pleasantville gets one more score, it could be a nice football score for you, Charlie.
13-6. I don't think that's happening though, as Mamaroneck has the ball here. but it's intercepted by Pleasantville. 9 seconds to go. They're going to have to score quickly. They come out, and it's intercepted, and he's hit to the ground, and the official has to blow his whistle with 3 seconds to go. As this game, only a theme of this game. Just let it play. I mean, it was a penalty. It was a foul. They knocked him down. But we'll finish this one 13-5. We'll have post-game analysis and talk to the great Coach Barnard when we come back, as Mamaroneck was only up 4-3. They're up 4-2 after 1, and that was 4-3 as Pleasantville scored quick, and then from there it was all Mamaroneck, Elijah.
Yeah, definitely. Mamaroneck played a superb defensive game, and the ball movement on offense led to 13 goals. So a great game all around from the Tigers as they improved to 2-1 on the season, and they'll be moving on after giving Pleasantville, the defending champs, their first loss in their first game of the season.
And Mamaroneck will be moving on to their 4th game and Pleasantville on to their 2nd game, and we'll have interviews and post-game analysis here on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on the post-game show with Tom Conley, and Tom, it was 4-3, and then you guys went on a tear. I scored 7 in a row, and you guys won 13-5. Tell me about that run there to
that run
go
all
up.
Started with our defense and our goalie. Jack Freed stepped up huge. Also, face-off, Shane. I don't think he lost a face-off in the 3rd quarter, so that really got it started. And then the offense, we did our job, get the ball in the back of the net.
And you guys have real good chemistry out there, especially you and Will Martin. Tell me about that.
Me and Will have been playing attack together since 2nd grade, I think. Travel all the way up, so I know where he's going to be. He knows where I'm going to be, so we don't really even need to look for each other. We just know.
And we've seen you a couple times now playing on this team, and we saw your brothers, and you're the last one in your family. And I was interviewing your brother 6-7 years ago, and now I'm interviewing you. And tell me what it's like to be the last in the line of Conley brothers here in Mamaroneck.
I don't know. I think Barnard's going to be pretty sad about it, but it's been fun. It's been a ride, but it's weird. I remember when I was like 10 years old, sitting up on that rock over there, and then watching Pete's team win a sectional championship, and now it's our turn.
Elijah Ware here with Coach Barnard. And Coach, your team, y'all got out to a quick start and continued that once the second half started, gained some momentum after giving up the first goal. Can you tell me what you said to your team and how you were able to come out with such a strong defensive performance?
Our defense is talented. We have some talented kids. They have some good offensive players, 2 Division I kids, and I just think as a unit, we have a good defense. All our kids are good individually, but together they play well. I have to give credit where credit's due. Our defensive coach Jeff Barr does a fantastic job. So he's got them in line and doing the right stuff.
So on the offensive side of the ball, we saw some good ball movement on a number of occasions, getting the ball into the teeth of Pleasantville's defense. How were you able to get your team to move the ball and be so unselfish, leading to 13 goals?
Well, they ran a zone, kind of a strange zone. We've seen it now twice. We saw Mapac do it as well, where they're kind of shutting off our kids behind, shutting off one player, and then they're adjusting and going to a zone up top. So we had to make some in-game adjustments right out of the gate. So we got off to a little slow start until we talked to the boys, and they figured out what to do, started moving the ball. We came up with some strategies, and we started putting more in the back of the net, and they were patient on offense, which is a key for us this year, is to be patient when we're playing against a zone. That's the key. Kind of take advantage of every opportunity, but zone, you got to be patient.
Back here on the post-game show, final score 13-5, and Elijah, it was a good game from Mamaroneck. They were up 4-3, and then they went on a run to make it 11-3, and that put them away.
Yeah, it was after those 2 straight goals from Pleasantville, Mamaroneck came back with 7 straight goals of their own, and Pleasantville was unable to recover. The defense from Mamaroneck got more and more aggressive, and that led to their offense. Great ball movement on the offensive side of the ball for the Tigers, and they closed out this game, improving to 2-1. And giving Pleasantville, the defending champs, their first loss of the season.
In their first game, 0-1, and that was an advantage for Mamaroneck. They already played twice, and especially against Yorktown, and now they 2-1, and we could see the first game jitters from Pleasantville.
Yeah, Pleasantville, you could tell that Mamaroneck, they were a little bit more closer to mid-season form than Pleasantville, and I think that was the main difference in the game. and they were unable to recover after Mamaroneck, continually kept on doing what they do, playing defense, moving the ball, finding the creases within Pleasantville's defense, and it was just a great game from the Tigers.
Right, that run was the difference, and they won 13-5, 3 goals and 4 assists for Tom Conley, who I talked to lead the way. And J.B. Connor also had 3 goals and an assist as they win 13-5 over Pleasantville. They're 2-1. Pleasantville is 0-1. Executive Director Matt Sullivan. The Assistant Director is Dina Schumacher. Our cameramen were Sean Kelly, Xavier the X-Man Campo, Rob Moretti, who's also the LMC Community Sports Producer. Once again, for Elijah Ware, thanks so much for watching this one throughout. I'm Charlie McGraw. Have a great evening.
If you are interested in sponsoring this or other programs on LMC TV, contact us for more information.